What's up, YouTube, and welcome to another Guild Ball match report. Today, I'm taking Fish again, my second game with Fish, into Thomas's Butchers. So Thomas is going in with Vet Boar, Princess, Vet Gutter, Vet Ox, Boiler, and Shank. And I've got Yukai, Tentacles, Knuckles, Vet Sakana, Vet Siren, and Angel. So for the Butchers, they're going for that 1-4 game plan, which is going to be pretty brutal. One, they want to keep that momentum lead, and they've got plenty of momentous damage to do that. So keeping things within swinging distance is important. Two, that legendary turn, they really need to get at least 2 takeouts on that legendary turn. It's going to be critical against a fast-scoring team like Fish. And 3, they need to keep the ball away from me as best they can. Butchers are, they don't have the best defensive ball tech, but they do have some, and Shank can really stretch the field and really kind of make it hard for me to extend and try to get to Shank, and he can just keep the ball away as long as possible. Now for me, I'm playing that 3-0 plan. One, I need to keep the team pretty spread out. You know, the team really relies on getting the Berserk and Furious on the legendary from Vet Boar. So keeping them spread out is important. 2, I need to disrupt the charging lanes. I've got that with breaking the surface. Hopefully I land it this game. And 3, I really need to stay hungry for the ball. I don't have a whole lot of defensive tech on this team. So I'm really relying on being able to get to the ball, get at the ball, and just keep pouring on the goal threat with my team. So learned a lot from that last match report. Still playing the Fish. Don't know how I feel about them, but I'm excited to get in another game of Guild Ball. And you can see I'm kicking there with, it looks like I am kicking with Vet Sakana this time, which is, I think, a better choice than Siren from last game. I'm just going to kind of punt it across the board here, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I'm so sad without my rerolls. I missed them so much. But anyway, let's see where this kick goes. Again, this is going to be a really fun game. The old classic Butchers versus Fish. So with that, let's go ahead and place the ball. It's a fairly shallow scatter there across, and let's speed up the tape. Here we are, we're into allocation. And one thing I catch here as I'm watching it back, you can see Thomas's team is kind of, they're set up in front of the line as opposed to behind it where you're supposed to be. So kind of an MCP type deployment there, which is kind of funny. We both missed it, and then it's fine. I don't think it really affected the game that much. Princess is going to jog up to the ball. I think she kicks it back over to Vet Ox and just banks the momentum. I'm going to just take a dummy activation with the Squiddy and do nothing there. And then Boiler's going to just get up and get right into it. He's going to go ahead and throw a marked target onto Vet Sakana. And then I think he throws an axe at Vet Sakana, doing a little damage and some bleed, I believe. And then he tries to mark Tentacles and does not get that either, unfortunately. I'm just going to walk up with Vet Siren and then do the knockdown cool guy thing that she does to knock him down. And then Thomas is going to go ahead and take advantage of the marked target there with Vet Gutter. I think she should have bought the Berserk, but she didn't. But she ends up doing a bunch of damage and bleed. She ends up pulling Vet Sakana even closer. But the issue is, if you see where Boiler is totally in the way of where Vet Boar is, and that's not good. Meanwhile, I'll just jog up with Knuckles. I think I just push her into some more crowd outs and just kind of keep her there for now. That bleed from the 3 damage bleed from the charge should have actually, I believe, just been on Sakana there, because I don't believe Siren was up there at that point. But that's okay. I don't know. I don't remember if we did that in the correct sequence, but it's not that big of a deal. You can see Vet Ox just sprinting towards the part of the goal there. I think he passed the ball over to Shank. I'm going to move in there with Yukai, get a couple of swirling the waters there, and I'm going to move Knuckles into position there, and I'll just keep taking some dodges. I'm just trying to rearrange this so that Sakana could possibly get a goal. I'm going to pull myself out there, and then I'm going to breaking the surface and put Gutter right in front of V-Boar, basically just taking away his charge. V-Boar is just going to sprint over to there. Not much there. Oh, by the way, I gave Vet Sakana flying. So now Vet Sakana can just go over there, charge Shank. So he charges Shank, snaps up the ball there, and then basically he's going to get a, I believe it's a push dodge, if I recall. He's going to get a push dodge and then just take a shot on goal. So there, yeah, that's the first turn goal. There we go. First turn goal with Vet Sakana, putting the fish up 4-0. It's towards the end of the turn. Thomas is going to throw the ball in there. By the way, I didn't end my activation with Vet Sakana just to make sure that he does not throw the ball that way, because I still had an influence on him, in fact. Cool little Yukai trick. Here comes Shanky. He's going to... Where'd they go? Sprint, pick up the ball. Basically, that's the end of Thomas's turn. All I have left is Angel, who's just going to sprint up towards the middle of the field there, get ready for next turn. So I'm in a pretty good spot. I have a momentum lead, I have a goal, and we're looking at cards for next turn. It's going to be pretty clear that I can win next turn handily. So Thomas plays Break Out the Knives, as he should, and I forget what I played. Not that important. It just gets, I think it was one of those +1 influence cards. Oh, it was Poised on his half of the field. So anyways, so start of the next turn, I'm going to go with Yukai here. And Yukai is going to harass Shanky there for the ball. And I'm going to go ahead and tackle the ball. I think Shank defensive stance, I think, instead of countering. I'm not sure I agree with that. Maybe the counter might have been a little bit better, but that's okay, because that might have changed my trajectory. So then what I'm going to do is I keep buying attacks on Shank. I'm trying to get another Breaking the Waters so that I can move out of him. Didn't quite get it on a couple of more tries, so I just physically buy it, and then I legendary to put Angel right in that lane there between Vet Boar and Vet Gutter, so I can snapshot a goal, and goal successful. So I'm up 8-0, pretty good, and the ball's gonna snap over there back to Shank. Vet Boar is gonna do his thing, walk to the middle, do some damage to Knuckles, pop his resilience, and put up the legendary. So here we go. We're gonna see who survives this turn. We retconned it because the resilience counterattack would have been too powerful. It would have just ended V-Boar's turn. We have instead, we're going to have V-Boar charge Yukai. I think that's a better move. It still keeps him in the play where the legendary is going to be useful, and he's going to have a decent shot of cleaning up Yukai here. I'm going to counter and just do the Swirling Waters and get that Siren a little bit closer. Keep threatening the ball. Yeah, Yukai's probably going to go down, but I'm going to keep threatening the ball there. And sure enough, Yukai goes down, putting the Butchers on the board, 2-8. All right, so now it looks like I may be going with probably am going to go with V-Siren, and I could try to knock down Shank. It's not as useful as just coming up and trying to harass the ball position there. So I'm going to go ahead and jog into melee range there of Shank. I'll base him, tackle the ball. He's gonna counter. I think he just tackles it right back, and then I'm out of influence, so I'm just gonna tackle dodge again, which it's really just keeping pressure on him. Now the thing is, the ball's dead, so he shouldn't care about the ball at this point. It's not. I don't have the ability to call the ball, but so I'm thinking Thomas should really be focusing on killing Vet Siren, even though she has that weird, like, reanimate ability, but he ends up doing some damage and then tackling the ball. I don't know. I probably would have left her with the ball, killed her later in the turn. But Shank is going to take the ball. He thinks about a goal run, and I said, that's not a good idea. It's probably not the best idea. It might be better just to hold off on the goal and get to the side of the board. That's pretty smart. If you're going to take the ball and possibly not kill the siren, you might be better off just going there. So he's there at the bottom of the screen with Shank with the ball. Okay, so goal is off this turn for me. I'm gonna walk up with the Squiddy, try to throw a blind, miss the blind because, you know, reasons. I was aiming at Vet Ox, by the way, and Vet Ox is just gonna go, since he's not blind, and do some beat down, put in some work on Knuckles there, and a little work on Tentacles. So he's just gonna do a little damage, and kind of prep things for Vet Gutter, who is still has a pretty good turn. For me, I'm gonna do my best to kind of keep Knuckles alive here, so I need to do a little crowd control. So I go into Vet Ox, basically push him out of the play, walk up, and I'm gonna attack. Looks like I'm gonna go into Vet Gutter and then tag along with Tentacles, keep the crowd outs going, try to keep Knuckles to where he can tank most of this, because all my ball threat is with Angel and Vet Sakana, and I need to position them and gain momentum for next turn. Looks like Vet Gutter is gonna do her thing, and Princess is gonna go walk over and try to keep Angel there at bay. I try to mitigate this by having Vet Sakana come over, and instead of swinging on Angel, I'm going to swing on Boiler, because I don't want to trigger Love Creatures. So what I'm doing is I'm swinging on Vet Boiler to raise the black flag, and I'm going to put the bonus on Angel, obviously, and put the penalty on Vet Gutter. And it looks like Vet Gutter is continuing to work on Knuckles. So not a bad thought. I don't recall I think Vet Gutter did buy the Berserk, bought the Berserk this turn, but I basically shut off his Furious, which is super critical, just by sticking people in the way. And then with Angel, I'm able to get the dodge to move away from Princess there and then jog towards the ball. So looking pretty good here for turn, but now we've got, it looks like Gutter is going to continue to go, and she is, I think, just doing some damage to Knuckles. We go into the next turn. Thomas is going to win turn because he's got a big old stack of momentum there off all the damage he did to Knuckles. I play Orange Slices to try to mitigate some of that damage that happened from the Gutter activation, and I'm threatening the ball, and so Thomas is figuring out, okay, well, maybe I come over here, I do some damage to Vet Siren. You can see Yukai came in on the very bottom of the screen there. So I'm going to do some damage and some dodging. Then I'm going to run up and kick the goal, putting the Butchers to 6. And I throw in, and it's a pretty good spot. I mean, even if it ended up on Vet Boar, I have a pretty good chance of getting it. It gets close. He did not quite close enough for him to snap it, though. So now it's time to go with Yukai. Yukai's going to heal up, charge Vet Boar, because why not? Charge Vet Boar. Vet Boar, I think, takes a defensive, but again, I would rather counter than defensive, just to keep me out of the play. But that's okay. I ended up getting I believe a Swirling Waters. So I'm going to take the Swirling Waters on myself. I'll pass the ball over to Angel. And then I'm going to do another attack on V-Boar, land another Swirling Waters, and I'm going to put Angel all the way there around that pile of rough ground. So I've got the goal basically in my pocket now. And it's pretty tough because there's not much left that Thomas can do to stop the goal, but Thomas can he can make me pay for it, and that's what he decides to do. So I think he's going with Vetox, and he's just going to beat down on poor Knuckles there, and lay into Knuckles and Tentacles at the same time. And yeah, I mean, that was kind of a cool play. We'll finally get to see some of the stuff that Yukai is capable of, because I'm not as dumb with Yukai as last game. But anyway, so Vetox is going to go ahead and finish Knuckles, putting it at 8-8, and then I'm just going to run in and score. Thanks everyone for watching. Catch you on the next one.